Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome back to Astral Drive, our TTRPG actual play. I will be your game master and writer today. Just so you guys know, the game that this is played in is single mod. I'll plug it later. But above me, we have wonderful players. Above me, we have Gerald Abrego, played by Aether Dios.
Yellow.
In the middle, we've got our Buildmaster General playing Nullis Stonehand, Philbilly330.
What's up, guys?
And then finally, last but certainly not least, our partner in all things TTRPG, Wizard's Respite's Ash, playing Alfred Whitecastle, as you know him.
Howdy, folks.
All right, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get right back into the action. Enjoy. I'm Nullis. You get home, you're tired, your welcome home party did not quite go as well. Your dad takes his hat off, quietly kind of like takes his boots off, goes up to bed. Isabel kind of comes over and goes, well, doesn't look like that went the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, you could say that. So,
Pickles actually goes, rah, rah, and like shakes his head.
I see you two getting along just fine.
She's like, of course, look at him, he's so cute. And then she like scritches him like a dog, which you would never do, and Pickles enjoys the shit out of it. Like he even does the dog thing with his like velociraptor leg, like click 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 on the floor when she gets under his chin, his lizard gullet. And then Isabel gives you a big kiss, and I'm not going to make you flirt with me anymore because I know you get weird about that. So you guys go upstairs, and you have a welcome home party. However, after a set welcome home party is done, I want you to give me a perception awareness check. Difficulty's 10.
I'm gonna spend 2 to reroll.
Okay. Probably a good call.
That'll do it.
Okay. Alright. Isabel's comfort is wonderful, but it still gives you a very restless sleep, just everything that happened. You're also, from everything I know of Nullis, not a person who likes to not know things. just from the way you went after Alfred. I think that, so Nullis does not sleep well. And because of that, he definitely notices a couple of creaks in the house. It's an old ranch house, so it's easy to notice. And pretty sure what he thinks is the screen door on the deck.
Definitely head on down to investigate.
Do you take Pickles or no? He's sleeping on Isabel's side of the bed.
No, I wouldn't. I don't want to wake everybody up.
Alright, so you're just going down, like throwing on some pants and going down.
Yep.
Shirtless. Okay, so you kind of walk down.
I would grab my gun just in case it's an intruder.
Somebody's been playing a lot of RPGs. Oh man, that's also the garage game too. If you don't say you have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
You will get fucked so hard. Okay, so you creep down the stairs. The person is not really looking to not get noticed. You kind of get up to the back screen door, and you see your dad Job, fully dressed, kind of walking off towards the back 40. He's not running. It's not like a rush or anything. And he's already kind of far away by the time you get the pants on. I'd say like 20 yards away. But you can make him out. It's a pretty bright night. The moon's out, so you can kind of see him. And he's just making his way off towards the back.
He's on foot though, right?
He's on foot.
I'm gonna try to follow in stealth.
Are you gonna put boots on? Are you gonna put a shirt on? Are you gonna put your hat on? Right now, all you have is your pants and your guns.
I would probably just grab or slide some boots on when I go out the door, not necessarily wasting time for a shirt and getting fully dressed, you know.
All right. You grab some boots and head off after him into the moonlight. I'm going to need a stealth check at this point. Let me bring up Mr. Job. Alright, Job is going to be increasing the difficulty by 2. However, it is dark. He's not necessarily... He is heightened, though, so I'm going to say right now you're at a 12. So 10 plus his 2 is 12.
19 total.
Okay, you stealth along without problem. Take a momentum. And yeah, you follow him probably at a good, 15 yards behind for quite some time. And the back 40 is, just basically grazing patches for the bovine that he has. They're obviously in the barn at this point, in the pasture at this point, the main pasture, but he'll kind of let them out there for a full day. And bovine tend to, once you have them in a place in captivity for a certain period of time, it's not it's kind of like cows where they won't go too far, you know what I mean? And if they do, you can always go get them and just bring them back. Bovine kind of stick to the place where they get food. They don't really wander often, so there's no real fencing or anything back here. It's just basically grazing land. But it is kind of rolling, hilly grazing land, and it also has these kind of weird undercut caves back here that are easy to hide in. And sure enough, towards way far on the back 40, you actually see one of the hills is kind of carved out. So that you could kind of see almost like a canopy. It's not a full cave, but like a canopy of earth, and you can see a fire inside that that cave. There's nobody at the fire. The fire was going before he showed up, but he's walking towards the fire. It's not a raging fire. It's like a campfire. Sorry, I should make that clear.
Gotcha.
He's not walking into fire or something like that.
I'm going.
Awareness, real quick, man.
My awareness is. I have a 1 in awareness.
Okay.
And a 2 in perception.
Okay.
I want to try to stealth as close as I can. I would also. Damn, I don't want to keep calling on the fucking demon. Yeah, I'm not going to yet. I'm going to try to stealth close enough that I can, even if I have to army crawl or whatever, to get close enough that I can hear and hopefully try to make out who this person in this cutout is.
Okay. So Job walks up into the cutout. You follow, like I said, you're about 15 yards behind him. And you start to stay low. This is the back 40, so the grass here is a little bit taller. It's a lot easier to stay hidden here. So you kind of get low into that grass, slowly move along it. You do realize he kind of walks into the fire, and then he kind of looks around for a second. There's nobody at the campfire, and he sits down. And it is at that point that you hear the cock of a gun, and it is right next to you, and you just hear, "Who are you, and why are you following my friend?" Real slow and methodical like that. Give me a real quick knowledge, range intelligence check on the cocking of the gun. The difficulty would be high from just a cock in the dark, though, so we're going to say 15.
Holy shit. I rolled a 13 and I have a 5 total, so nice. 18.
On a roll tonight, Nullis is. It is a lever action McAllister. Just a nasty hunting rifle, but at this range it will make a canoe out of your face without problem.
Yeah.
But whoever it is hasn't shot.
Make a canoe out of your face.
I'm laying on my belly and he's standing over me, right?
No, actually, and this is what's interesting because it's tall grass. You're kind of laying on your belly doing an army call through the grass, trying to get closer before whoever this person comes along is, and then you hear the cock next to you. You can't quite make out the figure because it's dark, but basically from your periffs you can see an outline of it, and this dude was just laying in the grass waiting for you patiently to crawl past him so that he could put the gun up to you. So he's literally like laying on his side with the gun next to you. Like, that's how patient he is. You can't make out anything about him, though, in the dark without turning your head, and you're kind of afraid if you turn your head, he's going to put a bullet in your eye.
Can I make a check to see if the voice is the same voice as I forget what you said his name is, and I didn't write it down, but the sheriff guy who walked into the bar earlier?
You do not need to make a check for that. It is not Samson.
Okay. I guess I would say, easy there. I could ask you the same thing, what it is you're doing following my pop.
Your pop. With your people, this means father, propagator.
Sure does.
I believe there has been a misunderstanding. I apologize. I am going to take the gun away now. And then he pulls the gun. You feel like you can see out of your periffs the gun barrel kind of goes up. He's still kind of laying on his slide, and then he slowly kind of sits up into crisscross applesauce with the gun kind of over his shoulder.
Appreciate that. I'm sure we can laugh about it later. So, as I ask, what are you doing?
I have permission from your father to stay here for some time. He is a generous man who has seen my plight and wishes to help me. I again apologize. He did not inform me he had offspring.
Yeah, it's a complicated family, but I can understand that. May I ask who you are?
Do you sit up and look at him?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you sit up and look at him. He is, even in the moonlight, you can see he's kind of like tinted green with kind of some spines coming off him. He doesn't really have hair, but in place of the hair are like kind of spines, as if he was a cactus, like like cactus spines on his head, like short cactus spines. He's sitting there. He has just a leather kind of jerkin on the top, but it's like a jacket all the way, and it's real loose. And then he's just got arms open. You see in his arms he has sewed things. So like when you see his arms, it's something completely unknown to you, because actually in your life you've never seen one of these people, because the green, even on Genesis, are extremely rare and stay very away from civilization. But he is actually sewed, instead of tattoos into the flesh of his arm, he's got stitches basically, and those stitches draw different animals and serpents up his right arm and his left arm, almost like the intricacy of Samoan tattoo art, but instead it's like a stitch in embroidery on his actual flesh, which it's hard to make out in the light, but when you look at it closer, you can tell that it is his flesh is more like cactus flesh, it's like plant flesh. It's not like our flesh. He kind of sits there standing, and you were mid-sentence, and then when you kind of sit up and see the visage of a green in front of you, you're kind of a little bit awestruck, just because you've never seen one, and you've never seen anything like what his arms look like. And he just goes, "They are my journeys. I take the time to stitch them in so that I can remember. Us green, we live a long time. Sometimes it is hard to remember the finer points. Our people customarily do this to remember. I'm sorry if I answered the question before you were going to ask it. I tend to do that sometimes.
Yeah, no complaints from me. I see you ain't exactly just like me. You ain't exactly from these parts either. At least not typically. So where is it you are from? And if Pops is letting you stay out here, I can only imagine you've gotten yourself into some kind of shit. I must say, my curiosity is piqued.
Ah, curiosity. It is both a wonderful virtue and a terrible flaw.
It's true, it's got me into some shit myself, so can't disagree with you there.
I believe some of your people say it kills cats. I am not sure. But I have nothing to hide from the son of Job Stonehand. So, please, accompany me to the campsite, and we will sit with your propagator. And then he stands, and then offers his hand to you.
I'll take it and let him help me up, and I'll be like, we'll start walking and be like, don't worry, Pops, I found him.
Before you do that, once he stands you up, he stares at your bare chest for a really long time, and he goes, don't your people usually wear shirts?
Why, yes, we do. Was in a bit of a hurry heading out the door. Just didn't quite have the time.
Ah, this is the complication you spoke of.
One of many, I suppose.
He slowly nods, but then he turns and he walks with just normal grace towards the campfire. Like the way he's been talking to you, you're waiting for him to like slow motion turtle walk to the campsite, but he just walks normal to the campsite without problem. And it almost surprises you that he just normally walks to the campsite. You follow him, and you see Job see him, and like, damn boy, oh my god, you just can't stop getting into shit, can you?
Crazy how after 2 years you can totally forget how somebody is. I ain't changed.
The green kind of looks back and forth between you, goes, and he looks at Job and goes, I see. I have now endangered your offspring. My sincerest apologies. At that point, he's just like, it's alright. Boy was gonna find out. Boy's noisy as shit. I tell you what. Alright, come on, sit down.
I would.
Alright, you come and sit down, and we're gonna switch back off. Alright, so you guys enter the mansion. You can see as you're entering the mansion, hurriedly, Tobias is coming from the back. And this mansion is like Cuban drug lord level mansions on the inside. Like stairs that don't make any sense in the front of the foyer that spiral up around. Like the height of human gratuity is what's put into this mansion. Tobias is just walking out. He's in much more casual outfit now. He still has the collar on, but he walks out just super happy. And he's Abrego, you came. For a second there, I thought you weren't going to. And then he comes down and he clasps your shoulder. He's like, there's so much to talk about, so much. And then he turns towards Alfred. And he goes, with you, I believe there's a matter of debt.
So can I get the exact size of this room? I'm just kidding.
They can't see my face, everybody out there, but you guys got to see it there, because my face was like this. Oh no, it's gonna be this kind of night. Oh man. Okay.
Oh. Okay. A debt is measured in what is lost and what has been agreed upon. I think that it might be something worth discussion. Thank you, by the way, for inviting me into your lovely home.
He looks at you and goes, well, I didn't invite you. Abrego did. I would have met you somewhere else, but I can't say that I'm ever going to turn down the opportunity to show someone my lovely estate. I love this place. I work hard for this place. Matthias has provided to me with his own hands, and I am all too eager to receive it. And then he offers his hand to shake.
Okay. I'll shake his hand.
Okay.
And say, it would appear Matthias has blessed you greatly indeed. It is a lovely house. Abrego has shown great respect for you in the past, and it's obvious you have earned that here.
It's like, has he now? Well, I can tell you this, Mr. Whitecastle. I'm sorry, Captain Whitecastle. Abrego here is my star pupil. He will one day ascend to possibly even my rank within the church, and I can only assume that he will do great things for our faith and our people. Which is why I want to talk to both of you today, especially you, Alfred, because you are here to do great things for our people right now and find that pesky ship, right?
That is certainly something that I am quite motivated to accomplish.
All right, well, follow me, both of you. I have some sandwiches and some tea prepared in my my negotiation room. And that's right. Believers of Matthias have rooms just for negotiation. He takes you into the back. It is a door with one entrance. You got walk in. There's no windows whatsoever, but it is decked out with like really nice like mahogany and like all like mahogany bookshelves. There's lots of like books on it that you're not sure he's ever read or ever even opened, just almost for decorations. There's a big desk that almost looks like it's compensating for something, but in front of the desk there's two chairs, and then in front of that there's actually a small table, almost like a coffee table, and like two like couches. And you can almost tell Abrego knows this just because he's been here before, but you can almost tell it's like the certain levels of the negotiation. Like there's like, this is the casual part of the negotiation where we all pretend to be friends, and then this is the part where we get down to business, and then this is the part where you sign shit. And it's almost like the room is broken down into these kind of phases for that. And certain the sandwiches, the tea are all right there on the table for you. He kind of does the sweeping gesture with his hand to offer you guys the couch seats, and then he sits in the chair by himself. The wolf kind of plods in behind him, behind Abrego, and he actually stops and he looks at Abrego and he goes, Abrego. This is the grand negotiation room of the High Father of the Church of Matthias. I think our pets should probably wait outside. And at this point, he is going to attempt to manipulate you. Big surprise. All right, so his roll to contest you is 21. He talka.
And that is going to be charisma and...
No, it's perception awareness to notice that you're manipulated.
Well...
Charisma manipulation is the offensive stat. The defensive stats are perception awareness.
Oh, to notice. I'm going to spend 2 momentum to lower that difficulty by 4.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 momentum to re-roll that roll.
It's working for it.
That is going to be a 19 to his adjusted 17.
I am now spending a Game Master momentum to make you re-roll that. I don't want that dog in the room.
That's not gonna be enough.
Okay.
Can I do a perception awareness just to kind of gauge what's going on?
You can, but you will not stop his manipulate. You can't counter his manipulation. Like I would allow it for you to be able to tell that he's being manipulated, but not necessarily to counter it. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. I'm not saving Abrego with this manipulation roll or this awareness roll.
Right.
I got a 24.
Okay.
To notice it, and would it be possible for me to do a manipulation check at this point, or is it just moving too fast?
You are just all over it. Okay, try. Let's do this. The game's afoot, gentlemen.
Yeah,
you're in the lair of the charisma dragon. Might as well face him. All right. So you notice this. Abrego, he's right. Like, you're still a faithful member of the Church of Matthias. It's dishonorable to have a dog in here. So you're ready to let the dog stay outside. Alfred, what are you doing?
I say, pardon, but that is not merely a dog. That is his wolf and a bodyguard. Trained to protect Abrego since his ordeal on Axiom.
Roll.
22?
That is pretty good, man. And I'm going to make you re-roll it.
God. Okay.
Oh. I don't want the dog in the room.
Okay. So that re-roll was a 10, so I'm going to use my last luck point.
Sure. This is the most amount of momentum and points spent on whether a dog enters a room or not.
Okay, so that was 21.
All right, he is going to roll to attempt to stop it. 21's still high.
Phil, aren't you glad you're not in this?
He grits his teeth at you. Of course. He turns back to Abrego. I think Matthias would make an exception for such an honorable, faithful member of the animal kingdom.
I'm Gilda is surprised by this on several levels and is not going. You know what? I will roll to see if he can hide his surprise, and that is not gonna.
I'm not gonna give. Okay, let's say I'm not gonna give you a momentum for that one.
No, you can give me a difficulty. I'm gonna guess that my probably 13 is not gonna be enough.
Yeah, no, you're surprised. You're very surprised.
Yeah, no, he's. Yeah, shake it, is it? Gotta think real fast, feet real fast, and yes, of course, and it's unfortunate we have not had the chance to introduce them formally and bless them in the church and tithe appropriately, of course.
He's like, it's all right. Again, this creature helped you live through such a horrible circumstance. Who am I to stop it? Please, come in. You guys both come in, you sit down on the couch, and then the dog kind of plops down next to you, but then the dog kind of like grits his teeth slightly. As Tobias goes like this, he motions towards the door, and then sure enough, Elijah and one other chaplain walk in the door and shut the door behind them. He turns back specifically to Alfred and goes, of course, you can understand that these two do the same for me.
Of course. Elijah seems like an excellent man. He was quite generous and friendly to us on our walk over.
Elijah just stares at you. And he walks over and sits down. Tobias sits down and he goes, all right, well, all of that arrangement out of the way. You wanted to find the missionary one, correct?
I think that is exactly what I would like to do. There's no secret of that. The pirates that have stolen this from us is truly outrageous. And
Indeed.
the Hearth Collective is outraged and embarrassed that such an atrocity may have occurred.
He gets almost fake solemn in front of you and goes, of course. And the Hearth Collective are good friends of the Church of Matthias. Obviously, this joint venture means a lot for all of our peoples and our organizations. We want to see this rectified as soon as humanly possible. And the missionary one is intricate to all of our plans. So, I can say this. I have found a way to get some information on it. This group that you have spoken of, these pirates that I was informed from the man in the first chair, Arn Anderson, honorable man, said that this the echelon of the end, something like that, a double E group is the one that took it.
I'm going to use a deduction.
Oh, fuck you.
You gotta sit on those so that he forgets you have it.
Oh, every time.
Okay. So I get 3 yes or no questions.
Yes. Ask, you motherfucker.
Is he trying to bait me into admitting I know of the echelon of the end?
No. Okay, I'm gonna say no, but it's not because he's not. He knows you know what it is, and that's not because of anything else. Like, he knows that your mission is to get the echelon of the end. Like, he's not lying to you here.
Okay.
There's no trick here, I guess. I know it's a yes or no question, but if I had said no, it would have felt more like a trick than anything else. So there's no trick here.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
All right. Is the echelon of the end? You said that you may have some information about this group?
He goes, Indeed I do. And, lucky you, I am prepared to put down considerable cost to assist you in helping to get that back. He turns and points and kind of motions Elijah to come over. Elijah walks over and he goes, Elijah here is one of the best chaplains from Bartholomew. I know you are not familiar with our customs, but Bartholomew is one of the shepherds most in charge of protecting shepherdism and all of the pilgrims that came here so many years ago. The chaplains are of the highest order in that. So I have actually requisitioned some of these chaplains specifically to aid you in getting the Missionary One back. It is of paramount importance that we get this mission back on track. And, might I say, I have procured some information on where it might get, where this ship might be.
This is excellent news. As I said, Elijah is a good man. He seems to have... We have seemed to have struck a chord, like minds and the like. I'd be happy to work with him. What information do you have of the location of the Missionary One?
You are unfamiliar with our customs, Captain Whitecastle, but here in this city, in this branch, you must give to get. So I have to request a favor from you in return.
I look over at Abrego, to see if he's got anything, like any sign for me, like
I mean,
tread carefully or go for it or anything.
Well, you can probably feel free to roll perceiving Abrego, and I would mark that down on account of he hasn't said a lot at all.
Okay. I got a 14 for reading Abrego, so hasn't said a lot.
Yeah, he hasn't said a lot. What would you want to convey with having said a lot? Having not said a lot? You're scared shitless? Or...
This is Abrego.
Okay.
Shutting up, even after that, is not his strongest suit. Even talking smack, with talking too much. No, he is... Yeah, it's, you know, when you go, you know, like, this seems very similar to the expressions of when I catch somebody I'm going to feed on in a dark alley by themselves.
Okay. I bow deeply, to the what was his position called again?
I think he's High Father of of the Church of Matthias.
I bow
that's what we
deeply
called
to
him. That's what we're calling him
High
now.
Father.
I'm gonna just write
Okay.
it down so I don't change it again.
I bow deeply to him and I say, "Hi, Father. Please pardon me for my ignorance of your lands. I have nothing but respect for what cultures other than my own, and for Abrego, who has shown me so much of your culture. In fact, I would hazard to request Abrego. Would you act as my liaison in this discussion and negotiations with the High Father here, seeing as you and I have grown so well accustomed with each other, and you, of course, are well versed in the ways of your homeland."
Tobias jumps in before Abrego can respond. He goes, unfortunately, the goods to be transferred are Abrego, so he cannot speak on behalf of that. Don't get me wrong, I would never own Abrego, but he is under certain obligations to you and the Hearth Collective. So, what I'm asking for in return is Abrego be freed from these obligations and be allowed to stay here with me. He turns towards you, Gerald, and be prepared, because it's a-coming. He looks at you and goes, "Gerald, we have looked at your heroism. We have looked at everything you dealt with at Axiom. We have asked for detailed reports from both the First Seat Anderson and Taya Volk of the ADF. We believe that you are on the fast track to becoming possibly the next High Father, if not at least a cardinal in the Church of Matthias. Your actions were not only heroic in the field, but you also never strayed from the faith. That is why I believe we never should have sent you in the first place. You should stay here, be with us, and, of course, enter the next phase of your career, your calling. Charisma manipulation coming at you. Gotta counter that shit, because he is just stroking you hard, man. That's what he's doing. Stroking that ego. All right. Where is he? There he is. Okay. Ooh, he actually rolled low.
Yeah, this is not enough to perceive it, the manipulation, though.
12 is what he got.
What's my target on the perception?
12. You gotta beat a 12. You gotta get a 13 or higher to see he's lying to you.
Momentum.
I don't
have a choice. Yeah. Alright, I will spend the momentum, re-roll it.
Okay.
That's 23. Let me roll 2. And 13, so I get one of those momentum back.
Okay. So you for a hot second, you're like, holy shit. This is it. Like, this is my calling. Like, all of this was worth it. This estate could be mine. I could be... And then you just stop. And you're like, whoa. Like, you almost look down and see your wolf, who's just kind of, like, whining at you. And you're like, is this even what I want anymore? Plus, something off about Tobias. And, yeah, you definitely have doubt as to... You feel like that almost allows you to see through it. Like... There's an ulterior motive here. You don't quite understand what it is, but there definitely is one. Your training by the very man who's trying to do it to you allows you to see it. And the love of your dog.
Yeah. Also the love of... I'm just a random... Well, not random, but... Low level... Not... a lot of talk is like what I could do so much for the family and my father, your words are so gracious. To be appraised so well, so highly is a gift from Matthias himself. I feel that such a change. For a contract to be ended early is such a great ask, particularly with such a debt on the line.
Charisma manipulation.
Yep.
I see what you're doing there. It's a good move. Can't be let out of a contract. It's their entire religion.
And he's so humble about it too.
What?
That Brago's being so humble too. Like, it's such a like oh, I'm not worthy of this great, yeah.
Right.
I will spend that momentum to lower the difficulty by 2.
Okay.
And that is going to be unadjusted 16.
Well, you're lowering his roll when it comes to that, so
Yes.
because it's a counter. So you got a 16.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 3 and 2. Okay. He kind of steps back and he goes. He kind of looks at you for a long second and he goes, I have taught you too well. Gerald Brago, the true beliefs of the Church of Matthias. You're right. We can't be let out of a contract. Not, of course, without a cancellation fee. And then he turns towards White Castle and he goes, I will be willing to part with quite a sum of Gen, or whatever currency Anderson wishes. Obviously, I don't know if you're willing to negotiate on his behalf, but there is a lot that the Church of Matthias can do for you freeing Abrego of his contract.
I'm afraid, High Father, that my ignorance is at play here. I thought that we needed Abrego in order to retrieve the ship.
He looks at you and goes, ah, yes, that. We did build that in, and it was unfortunate, but I can't live to see Abrego in danger anymore, so we will be sending you with a ship capable of towing the Missionary One back to Genesis, where we can then free it of this system in the first place. And once we do that, once we rewrite that technology, Abrego can be freed of the contract, and you can have the Missionary One. In fact, I think that's a good, fair deal. You'll get the Missionary One free and clear of Matthias for your expedition. However, Gerald Abrego stays here. Deal?
Okay. Let's see, I guess I'm gonna use a cold read cold read token to see if he's lying first.
I'm going to make a perception awareness,
Okay.
if I can do it, to try to suss out what the end game is for this.
All right, Gerald, you roll me a 15 difficulty. Alfred, you're trying to find out if he's lying. He is telling the truth, but there is a trick to this. And that's the best I can say. I'd love to say yes or no on this, but parts of this are dishonest, but overall he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Actually,
Gerald
you know what?
Too surprised by.
He is lying. He does not intend to fully give the Missionary One to the Hearth Collective. Everything else he's telling the truth about.
Okay.
So what'd you roll, Gerald? Sorry.
8.
Okay. All right.
No, he's too struck by how
he's out of his element right now.
Yeah, he's out of his element. Well, this is nothing like his like how he was trained. This is just giving everything away. It doesn't make any sense.
So I would say to him, I have been chosen for this mission for a series of unique skills I have demonstrated recently. Skills that I have developed and have cultivated quite effectively on Axiom and in other areas for the Hearth Collective. My covert operation, my understanding of how this ship works, how to pilot it. I know that these types of missions, like the one on Axiom, where my good friend Gerald nearly lost his life can go sideways very easily and very quickly. I don't know that it is something that we can risk not having him here, not having him with us. If he is the only way to get that ship moving for whatever circumstances that befall us. Well, let me say this. I made the mistake once of letting him out of my sight, and I put a very friendly hand around his shoulder and sort of like grab him. I promised myself that I would never let that happen again. Can I do like a manipulation?
No. Normally I would say yes, but this is not something you can manipulate on this guy. He stares at both of you. He looks back at Abrego and goes, "You would do this? You would disappoint me? You would disappoint your family by walking away from this potential possibility? With this opportunity of a lifetime? To go back into space and put yourself back in danger? When you could potentially be trained to be the High Father?" Alright, he's going to roll one more manipulation on Tobias. On Gerald to try and convince Gerald. He knows Gerald's the weak link in this right now, so he's going to go after Gerald. Alright, that is a 22. Perception awareness to stop it.
Oh, perception awareness to stop it. Okay, I was going to say something else. Alright. Alright, we got... No, it's... certainly not. It's your conditions are generous, and it would be remiss for me to make a change the cost in such a way.
What are you doing, Gerald? Because you really...
Perception awareness for my wolf.
For your wolf? What are you trying to have him do?
He's to be aware of the sense, the malice in.
Are you sure you want to do
bias.
this?
Am I sure I want to do this?
Are you sure you want to let the wolf handle this? Here's your two options, because you've been bested on this manipulation. He's got you. You're like, whatever Tobias's underhandedness is, this is too big an opportunity for Gerald Abrego to walk away from, for his honor, for his family, for everything. So you can either accept it, or you can leave it to the wolf. I'll allow you to leave it to the wolf. But yeah, at that point you're like, it's almost like your hold on the wolf slips, and the wolf is going to do what the wolf thinks is right. It's your call.
I rolled really bad today.
No roll for this. It's your decision.
Can I think on what?
All right.
I'm going to yield it. I'm going to yield it.
You're going to yield it? All right. Perfect. Because the wolf just steps up, growls, and leaps at Tobias for his fucking throat. We're going to cut there. We're going to switch over to Nullis one last time before we wrap things up tonight. Go time, bitches! You left it to a wolf, man. He's like,
what?
Fuck
No,
this guy.
I was not giving it to the wolf.
You
I
said
was
yield.
relenting to losing. I'm relenting to losing the challenge.
Sure?
Yeah. That's what he would do. I know you're looking forward to it.
Well, I thought the yield was you were yielding to the wolf.
No, I'm sorry. He's
All right. Okay. No wolf attack.
Stupid armadillo.
We're still gonna cut off to Nullis one last time. Nullis, you are sitting at the campfire. Job kind of like goes, all right, kid. Ain't my story to tell. And then he pulls out a cigarette, hand-rolled cigarette, puts it to his mouth. He doesn't smoke often, only in times of high stress. Lights it up, and then kind of walks into the field so that you can have a moment with the green by yourself. And the green just kind of looks at you.
Well, let's hear it. What's going on?
My name is Santakano. You want me to spell it for you?
Sure.
Santakano. I am green. How much do you know about our people?
Very little, to be honest with you.
We are usually very solitary. We travel mostly by ourselves. And when we procreate, we plant a seed that is made from our own body in the earth. It grows into another green and moves on. That being said, our people are rare. Our potential for family is rare. But we live very long. I am guilty of the crime they are hunting me for. However, it was not a crime for me. Since you know very little of my people, then you have never heard of a field. Not one in the sense of a normal field, but occasionally, once a millennia, our people will gather. They will plant many greens together. It is an occurrence that is extremely rare. Even with our long lifespans, it is rare that we get to see one. But it is important. It connects our people. It binds our people, and it keeps us from fracturing. It allows us to absorb each other. It allows us to absorb each other's knowledge. When a field is planted, all the procreations, all the seeds, their roots mingle, and they gain all the collective knowledge of the greens that planted them. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little strange to me. It sounds like your procreation's missing out on some of the... But... to each their own, you know?
He actually kind of looks at you, and then his mouth slowly opens, and he goes, ah. That is humorous. This is...
Yeah, I come up with some real knee slappers.
I enjoy jokes nowadays. It is hard for me to find joy, as I was part of a field that field was deemed part of Shepherd's Land. That field was deemed not to be there. They did not ask us. They burned it. They burned. And you actually see, like, his eyes start to kind of, like, well up with water. He goes, they burned all of them. Generations of our people. The ones you call the Church of Bartholomew did it. And I assure you, the people in the church that I burned, they were only the people who were responsible. I was the only survivor. I tracked them. My people are meticulous. My people are careful. I made sure they were the ones who burned and no one else. However, this justice has been deemed a crime, and now they hunt me. Again, I apologize for putting you and your father at risk. I did not understand at first that I was on his land. I was hunted by one they call Samson. I was wounded. I escaped. Your father nursed me back to health. He is a good man. He was allowing me to stay here until I was healthy. And then he stops for a second. And you can tell he's really getting choked up here. And he goes, I will admit I had learned hate from your people. I had come to decide they were all better off dead. But your father showed me I am wrong. That I need to be satisfied with my justice, and that your people have people who care about what is right.
I am very sorry to hear about your situation. And I can't say, being in your shoes, that I may not have acted in the same fashion. Such is the plight of morality, I suppose. But I'll tell you, your actions have landed you in some deep shit, and we'll have to figure out a way to get you out of it. Is there somewhere you're trying to get to go, to run from this? Not run as in a cowardly way, but off the top of my head, I don't see a peaceful solution to this so long as you are on Genesis. Is there anything keeping you here?
He actually almost looks confused at you. Like, he never even considered, like, leaving the planet. Like, that wasn't even, like, something that had entered into him. And he's like, I am not sure. I, again, was only on your land until I healed. I am healed. I will take my problems elsewhere. Samson will hunt me, not your people.
I ain't asking you. Excuse my ignorance, but where is it that your people are from?
He kind of like turned. Out of game. The greens are from Genesis. They're native to Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I forgot.
No, that's fine. I could tell that you didn't remember, and that's fine. I was just letting you know. They're native to Genesis. They come from Genesis.
Okay.
Cactus people. So yeah.
Did you ever consider trying to build a new somewhere else?
I cannot. I cannot seed again. If I do, I fear it will corrupt the seedling. I fear that the seed will carry what I have inside. He's trying to convey to you, like he's having obviously a hard time conveying it to you in your language, and basically you kind of get what he's saying. He's saying that like the seed is almost like him again. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily like a kid in the traditional fashion. It's like I'm a maple tree, now there's another maple tree.
It'll have hatred like he does.
Right. So like he doesn't want to he doesn't want to be involved in another field because all of the seedlings in a field share the collective consciousness of everybody who planted it, so they will all get that hatred, and he doesn't want to plant his own again because it may carry that hatred with him. And even though he understands how to control that hatred, the next version might not.
Well, then let me ask you, what... This is gonna sound morbid, but what solution is there for you? You look right into his eyes, and he does seem like a long-living and wise being that has been around for a long time, and you can tell he does not have an answer. He doesn't know. Give me a quick knowledge check. Not my strong suit. I'm gonna give you a low one. I'm gonna give you a 5 since you've been around him. I rolled a 14, so 15. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so we're gonna kind of end on this, but you kind of get the feeling that like the greens just kind of wander. That's what they are. They're just constant wanderers, and they don't really need to eat. They need a minimal amount of water. They just need sunlight, so they could just like wander in the desert. That's why a lot of people don't see them a lot, because they just stay away from cities, and they're very loner stuff. So like, and they just live. They just basically record knowledge in their head. Like that's the way of their people. That's the kind of feeling you get from him. So you kind of feel like he doesn't really have a plan for fighting. He's just gonna keep migrating, or just keep walking, and probably go down and blaze a gunfire. Like he doesn't know what else to do. Like he doesn't want to like stand and try and kill these people because they weren't the ones who killed the field, but at the same time they're going to keep coming after him until he's dead. And I'm going to give you a whole while to think about what you want to say to him next, because we're going to end there on that cliffhanger. Big couple of games, I think I hope everybody had fun. Did everybody have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. As usual, I was horrified. So much more than I am in battle.
Alright, that was it. That was the episode. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Astral Drive. If everything goes well. But obviously, the obligatory moment for everybody to plug. We'll give Aether Dios the field first. What do you want to plug, sir?
Nothing particularly new for me. I like to give the field to everyone and show all the new games that are coming.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Phil Billy, what would you like to plug?
Check out TMNT and Other Strangeness. Had an episode last week, and it was a pretty cool one. We're starting kind of like a new chapter, I suppose. So yeah, check that out. It was a lot of fun. And then of course come back for next episode of this here in Astral Drive.
And then Wizard's Respite / Ash, what would you like to plug, sir?
As always, wizardsrespite.com, website where we dive into all things TTRPG, all of these episodes and all of the TTRPG episode shows that we're doing together are going to be on there, as well as a bunch of articles and t-shirts, which I'm also starting to sell on the site.
Buy t-shirts on wizardsrespite.com. As far as me, we do have a lot of TTRPG content coming. Definitely check out TMNT. I have so much fun running that game. That game is just good, hard, 80s cartoon fun. And I'm really excited about the next episode. We also have I can kind of spoiler, we have like a Doctor Who actual play coming with Aether Dios from Above Me. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we've got a new game coming for single mod, Ordo, which is being game mastered by Wizard, which I actually get to play in that one, which is cool. And then finally, I will plug what has been on your screen the entire time. This game was played entirely in single mod system. You can find it on itch.io. It is only currently $6. Please go buy a copy. It's an easy read, it's a fun game to play, and it still has some fun build mechanics, even if you like a little bit of crunch as well. So other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. You can find us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below. Influence us and all our shows from there. You can find Ash at wizardsrespite.com. And then as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.